There are two evolving realities in our world that are working right now to make this challenge of communicating about climate and health much easier. One of them is bad, the other is good. The bad one is that these extreme weather, climate-related extreme weather events are getting worse. They're getting to be more frequent. People are noticing. And even those who, for whatever reason, would still prefer not to use the word climate or the phrase global warming, are beginning to ask themselves the question, hold on a minute here, this is pretty crazy what's going on. And you just turn on the news any particular evening and you see it. The second development is a good development, and I referred to it earlier, others have mentioned it, but it's really quite stunning. Some areas of technology seem almost magic in the way the cost goes down as the quality goes up. Computer chips offered all of us one of the first lessons in that kind of technology. What, you mean it gets twice as cheap every couple of years and better? And after a few cycles like that, you get a supercomputer in your pocket, and flat screen TVs, mobile phones. Some of you know the famous prediction from one of the premier consulting firms in the world, engaged by AT&T back in 1980 when the first big mobile phones came out. How many of these can we sell by the year 2000? And they conducted a lengthy study and came back and said, good news, 900,000. And when the year 2000 arrived, they did sell 900,000 in the first 3 days of the year. But for the year as a whole, they sold 128 times what was predicted. I mention that because the good development in technology relevant to climate is that it turns out that solar cells and wind energy and now batteries and hundreds of efficiency technologies that aren't as well known have that quality. They're getting much cheaper very rapidly. The latest contracts for solar electricity, not all of them, but the latest contracts are providing for the sale of electricity from solar panels at a rate that is less than 1/2 the cost of electricity from burning coal or gas. We are now seeing a revolution in energy, and as batteries begin this cost down curve, the combination of renewable electricity generation and batteries and electric cars, which are now beginning to come into the liquid fuel, to displace and disrupt the liquid fuels market, we're going to see an incredibly rapid transition. So some of our experts on communication made the point that you have to include legitimate hope that this problem can be solved. Well, good news, it can be. It can be solved with millions of jobs, with less pollution, with better health outcomes, and the constant reminders in the form of these extreme weather events will continue to raise that subject. One of the things I have learned, I've been doing this for a long time, I'm always seeking to learn more, but I learned a lot today. And one of the principal lessons I learned is something that I guess I knew sort of intellectually a little bit before, but it was really driven home today. The health consequences of climate offer a way to communicate directly with and connect with people that may be more powerful than any other framing of the issue. And the health co-benefits of addressing the climate crisis are equally as powerful. So I want to thank all of our panelists and speakers today. Many of them traveled a great distance, international travel involved. Really, it has been an extraordinary collection of men and women who have offered us fantastic insights and information, and I'm very grateful to them. Before I close with the thanks to those who deserve it, we are now facing a new headwind. But I can tell you this, I've been involved in this effort for a long time, and this is not the first time that there has been an unexpected obstacle. We will win this. But in order to win this, we have to personally take stock of what is going on in Washington, D.C., and we have to, each one of us, dig deep, double down, and decide that we are going to win this. If you will make that decision, we will win this struggle. I want to thank President Jimmy Carter again, and the wonderful staff here at the Carter Center. What a wonderful place to have this. Isn't this great? I want to thank Ted Turner and the Turner Foundation, and especially Laura Turner Seidel, and thank you for coming to speak as well. Laura's on the board of the Turner Foundation. This couldn't have happened without the Turner Foundation, without the Carter Center. I want to acknowledge my deep debt and express my deep gratitude to the American Public Health Association, Dr. George Benjamin. Thank you so much for all that you and your team have done. And to the Harvard Institute of Global Health, Dr. Ashish Jha, thank you and your team for all that you have done. To the University, to Dr. Jonathan Patz and the University of Wisconsin-Madison Global Health Initiative, thank you very much, Dr. Patz, for your help. To Christy Ebi and Howard Frumpkin from the University of Washington Center for Health and the Global Environment, thank you for what you have done. Howie, thank you. To the Climate Reality Project, Ken Berlin, and to the staff there that's worked so hard, and all of the climate reality leaders who are here. Who's been through the climate reality training in this group? Quite a few, thank you. And a number of the speakers made note of that. Thank you very, very much. I want to thank my personal staff in Nashville. You really have no idea how hard they worked on a very tight time frame. My Chief of Staff, Beth Gear, Brad Hall, and Jill Martin, Alex Lambow, Raina Davis. I want to thank them personally for all their work too. Thank you very much. And I want to thank the representatives here from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I began today by speaking about how impressed I am with the CDC and what they do. And after the panel before this one and some of the other presenters, I'm even more impressed because many of you have given witness to how helpful the CDC has been in getting this information out to local public health officials and to hospitals and doctors. And there has been a lot going on at the CDC that is really, really very impressive. And I do want to express my deep thanks to them. And I understand there now is a possibility that the conference that the CDC had originally scheduled may actually be put back on the schedule later this year. Is that right? We'll take that as a yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I won't keep you longer. I do want to say on a personal basis, it has been a wonderful experience to be here with all of you. not only to hear the presentations, but also the side conversations. I know that a lot of networking has been going on, and some of the stories that some of you shared with me during the breaks have been very, very significant and very moving, and I appreciate it a great deal. There are other conferences this year already scheduled. Harvard is having one soon. The American Public Health Association, of course, is having one in November. Back here in Atlanta, this is the year of climate and health. So just remember, if anyone ever expresses doubt that we have the capacity to win this, first of all, we have to win it. We have no choice, and we're going to win it. But for anyone who says we don't have the political will, always remember political will is itself a renewable resource. Thank you very much for coming.